To pull off a really good show, I think the two biggest things for myself was time management. Going into rehearsals and knowing exactly what I was going to get done and knowing how I had to do that.
It's stressful. It's really tough.
I think the challenges of putting on your own show are a little bit more complicated than what some people may think.
Choreographing isn't hard, but making sure that I choreograph enough in time for the show to come up, that's tough.
That's not necessarily just the creative intent that you may have and not necessarily the amount of material that you have to create, but also all of the backstory stuff and everything that's involved in hiring the theatre and hiring a cast and making sure that everything you're putting together is what you want. If you have a voice, a creative voice, that you're saying the right things and that ethically you're saying the right things.
Within Fly Crew, obviously, I draw inspiration from all the members in the company. So little ideas or jokes that they throw around during rehearsals could become an entire skit or an entire show. So people that wanted to learn and wanted to train and got along with us and had a comedic outlook on life, but were also intelligent. It's like these little checklist of things.
I feel like they're really in the trenches with me, and that's really important. That makes me really happy to have them on board.
I think narrative is everything. Everything's got to tell a story.
The story is about one guy who wants to find himself as an artist, but then his emotions and all these other life factors come in, love interests and what he wants to do with his life sort of get in the way of that. And it's pretty much about him finding himself.
The only way people are going to feel something is if there's a cohesive story going through something, you know?
If I ever get lost thinking about choreography or what movement should I use here or anything like that, going back to the story is the cure-all. Just keeps me moving forward.
I like seeing something where it's like clearly the concept is the hero here, you know, to the point where I've lost all sense of what else is going on. You know, they've been so stuck to the concept that they couldn't do this particular movement or that. I've always tried to create things that spawn from very simple concepts, and then you can be elaborate within there, as opposed to like trying to tell a story with 56 different moving parts in it, you know?
It's really weird. I keep taking moments where I just sit there and I go, okay. And then it's just there. It just falls into my head rather than me trying to squeeze blood out of a stone. It sort of just comes through me if I just let myself receive it, which I've heard people talk about in the past, and I hear that and I go, yeah, right, whatever. But now that I'm going through that, I'm like, wow, that's really a thing.
It's important to have a concept in there that people relate to. And it's important to do something that you relate to as well. You know, honest work comes from an honest feeling.
I think everything that's happened to me and things like where I grew up and, you know, all the artistic instinct that's put inside me, I think are just really natural now. I think they've always been expressed through me in one way or the other. But having that instinct come into contact with the storyline of this, it's just flowing like that. It's almost like a channel.
This experience is definitely very different to anything I've done before.
I've been enjoying learning all the new movement and testing out the limits of my body.
Working on this, it sort of makes you really tap into your own emotions and who you are.
Dancing from a different place than I usually get to, like dancing from the heart a lot.
I'm finding myself, I think, in an actor, as an artist, rather than just being a dancer.
So yeah, you can think of it in two ways. You can either go, I have to do this thing and I'm gonna do it and it's gonna be great, and follow that path down, which is very, very effective for a lot of people. But then when you feel like bailing, realizing that, okay, if I quit this, there are huge consequences there as well. So, for example, if I don't do this, then whatever I do from now on, whatever company I start, whatever production I headline, I risk people not trusting it ever again and not trusting me ever again.